All right, welcome back, everyone, into the DDSN Diamond Betting Show. We're here for episode number 31. It's May the 6th at 10:27 a.m. Central Time. It's no secret. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Our 1 week winning streak just came to an end. We got a little brutalized last night. That was our first bad day in, I would say, probably a month. I feel like it's been a while, but we're still up huge on the year. And I feel like we're going to bounce back. It was, after the crazy run that we went on this past week, it was bound to happen. Aggression, it happens, but we don't want it to happen, 3 days in a row. So let's go ahead and get past this. It's in the past. We'll leave it in the past and we'll go ahead and move forward. Again, episode 31, we're still up 15.6 or 46 units, about 15 and a half. Our sides are 165 and 145 on the year, still up over 21 units, almost 22, just on our sides alone. And then, of course, our totals took a little tumble yesterday. That was probably the worst part for me. A lot of those games, a lot of the offenses kind of came out early, and some of those games died out late, but they just didn't go how I was expecting them to. Sometimes it just happens. So let's go ahead and get into today's games. I want to thank everyone for watching, subscribing on YouTube and TikTok. Thanks to all of our TikTok followers. We appreciate it. Thanks for all the comments. Bingo. Tim, let us know in the comments where you're from, who your favorite team is, what you want to see more of. I know Tim wants to see some more player props. I did not do any player props today, strictly just for the reason of I need to get locked back in, especially after yesterday. And then moving forward, hopefully tomorrow, when we don't have Thursday, there might be some day games, but that way we can get back into, I'll add some player props and we can start adding those to the show. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Again, appreciate everyone. Let's get started. Episode 31. Toronto Blue Jays plus 129, Patrick Corbin on the mound against the Tampa Bay Rays. Minus 142, Shane McClanahan on the mound. Yeah, our Rays are streaking right now. They find ways to win. Last night, one of our bright spots was the Rays coming back to win the game, and it's that offense. They've won 9 out of the last 10 games. We have the Rays to win the AL East, and they're still keeping pace with the Yankees. Even though the Yankees are playing terrible teams right now, they're just going on a run, just playing, just the worst of the worst, and hopefully we could gain some ground there. But again, I like this matchup because of the Rays. The Rays love to hit left-handed pitching, and they're going against Patrick Corbin. The Blue Jays are decent against left-handed pitching, but at the same time, who would you rather have right now? I'd rather have Tampa Bay. I'm going to lay it here with the Tampa Bay Rays minus 142. Next game was the game that was supposed to be played yesterday. We don't have any double headers today, but this was supposed to be played yesterday. Still the same starting pitchers. Milwaukee Brewers minus 105, Brandon Sproat on the mound. Against the St. Louis Cardinals, minus 105, Andre Pallante on the mound. Pallante has been struggling and has struggled against the Milwaukee Brewers. And the Cardinals have not faced Brandon Sproat this season, but Sproat has been struggling. Yes, we're getting a discount price here with the Cardinals against a shaky fifth starter here for Milwaukee. Go ahead and give me the Cardinals minus 105. I still like this one to go over the total, over 8 runs at minus 115. This was 7.5 last night, but let's go ahead and say that half point was because of the weather, but I don't think so. I still think we still see some runs in this game. Give me the Cardinals, give me the over 8 runs. Dodgers minus 204, Tyler Glasnow on the mound against the Houston Astros. Astros are plus 183. Lance McCullers on the mound. Astros did beat the Dodgers last night. We have a rubber match today after the Dodgers did win game 1. Dodgers are struggling right now. Yes, they do have some injuries. Eventually, at the end of the season, they probably will be healthy and a juggernaut. But right now, they're not playing well. They're not hot. I think they've won 3 out of their last 10 games, somewhere in that neighborhood. They're just not playing well. Neither are the Astros. But last year, Lance McCullers Jr. did have a great game against the Dodgers. And right now, with both of these teams, the way they're playing, anyone can win. And if we're getting a price like this with the Astros, we're just going to go ahead and take a shot. Yes, it's not, am I the most confident in the Astros today? No, not really. But with this price and a good history from Lance McCullers Jr. Sometimes we have to take a shot, and the Astros are always live playing at home. Give me Houston plus 184. I also think we kind of do get a pitcher's matchup here, especially early with Glasnow and McCullers Jr. So give me the first 5 under 4.5 minus 102, as well as the game under 8.5 plus 105. Next game is the San Diego Padres minus 105. Matt Waldron on the mound against the San Francisco Giants. Giants are minus 105. And Hauser on the mound for San Francisco. Don't look now, but the Vitellos, they've been playing pretty decently. At least in this series, they came in ice cold. The Padres as well haven't been able to gain ground on the Dodgers because they themselves are ice cold and have won probably 3 out of their last 8 games as well. We've been fading Matt Waldron ever since his first start, so we've won, I believe, 3 in a row. And we're going to do it again. We're going to fade Matt Waldron because he has shown us absolutely nothing so far this season. I think he's 0 for 4 on the year, 0 for 3, something like that. And he's just struggling. And this Giants team, they're kind of comfortable playing against the Padres. So let's go ahead and take the Giants minus 105 and the Vitellos. Next game's the Chicago White Sox minus 109. Nate Schultz on the mound against the LA Angels. Angels are minus 101 with Walbert Urania on the mound. Angels did win last night. The White Sox had their chances, especially at the end of the game. I believe only 1 out with the runners. Well, a runner on third. By the time when they got to the 3rd out, the bases were loaded for the White Sox. I believe they had, no. The 2nd out was a strikeout. I think that was Carson Montgomery. And then the 3rd out was the catcher. I'm blanking on his name. I don't think it's Montero. Quiero. I think that's who the catcher was. And I think he lined out to second base or grounded out. But we like our lefty rookie Nate Schultz. He's going to be on the mound. I think the White Sox bounce back. Murakami also didn't start in that game, so he got some rest. But he's playing today. He loves playing against the Angels. Give me the White Sox minus 109. Let's see if the Angels can prove it to us and win another game. Next game is the Atlanta Braves plus 118. Martin Perez on the mound against the Seattle Mariners. Mariners are minus 130. Brian Wu on the mound. It's no secret. Wu has been getting tagged up and it's been bad. I think he's allowed over 6-7 earned runs in his last 2 starts. We faded him in his last start. In the start before that, we did have him. Cardinals torched him. So I just don't think he's going to bounce back that easily. And this Braves team, they've been doing well for us. I think after today, I think that's when I'm finally going to jump into the Braves to win the World Series bandwagon, as well as Matt Olson to win NL MVP. I think he's a very live. Even though both are at about 7-1 odds, I think that's good because what are we going to do? We're going to fade the Dodgers. We're going to fade the Yankees. We're going to fade the Tigers. And we like this Braves team, and they have insane amount of talent, pitching and on the field. I like the Braves this season, but I also like the Braves today. Mariners struggle against left-handed pitching. Martin Perez has been flying under the radar. I do like the Atlanta Braves plus 118. We're getting plus money again with Atlanta. I mean, how do we pass this up? I disagree with the line, and I disagree with Brian Wu. There's something wrong there with him, and I do like the Braves here. Next game is the Boston Red Sox minus 101. Sonny Gray on the mound against the Detroit Tigers. Tigers are minus 109. Jack Flaherty on the mound. If you watched the game last night, we did have the Tigers, but if I would have known the Red Sox were, I wouldn't say stealing signs, but they were stealing signs with Framber Valdez, and they were tagging him up. And they scored at least 10 runs on Framber, I believe, and then eventually led to a Framber hitting Trevor Story, a little scuffle. But that was one thing that was known about this Boston Red Sox team was with Alex Cora. They were very good at stealing signs from the other team and relaying it. I mean, if that was true, how come they couldn't hit in the entire first 20 games of the season? But that's neither here nor there. I do like the Red Sox again in this game. This is a rematch of Patriots Day where this was an early 10 a.m. game, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Sonny Gray was having a great game pitching, and then he got hurt in around the 3rd inning. But the Red Sox were able to tag up Jack Flaherty once they got to I would say the second time around in the lineup. And, this Tigers team, although they have been hot at home, we haven't seen a lot from them in this series against Boston. And Sonny Gray, I do like the way he did pitch against the Tigers. And I do think this is his first start since that Patriots day, because he did get injured. I like the Red Sox here. It wouldn't surprise me if the Tigers had a good game. But again, I cannot trust Jack Flaherty. I'd rather trust Sonny Gray rested and this Boston Red Sox offense with a little chip on their shoulder. I'm a little nervous about the Tigers after, that scuffle yesterday. They'll be ready to play today. But again, I'm just looking strictly at the matchup here. I like Sonny Gray and the Red Sox -101. Baltimore Orioles +119. Brandon Young on the mound against the Miami Marlins. Marlins are -131 with Yuri Perez on the mound. This was actually a good game yesterday. It was back and forth. Orioles were up 2 runs. Miami would come back. Miami would be up 2 runs. Orioles came back. Orioles ended up coming back to win the game. The reliever for the Marlins totally blew the game. Marlins had a chance to win, but again, the reliever blew it, and it is what it is. But I do like Yuri Perez on the mound here, especially fading Brandon Young. Last time Brandon Young faced the Marlins, they blew him up. So we're getting Marlins at a -131 price. I think that's a 20-cent discount here, and I'll gladly take it with the Marlins and Yuri Perez. Athletics +151. Jeffrey Springs on the mound against the Philadelphia Phillies. Phillies are -167 with Zach Wheeler on the mound. It's no secret that the Phillies have been playing amazing recently, and they're red hot, especially offensively. They're starting to hit the ball. I have been high on the Athletics, and I still have them to win the AL West. Also with Jeffrey Springs, the only problem is in the last couple starts, Jeffrey Springs has been getting tagged up, and it did look like he got injured. I think that was the Rangers game. It kind of looked like he got injured, and then the game after that, he had another terrible start. He only went 2 or 3 innings. So I think there's something there, a little injury there with Jeffrey Springs. There's something wrong with Springs, and this is something we talked about earlier in this, or a couple days ago. I forget with which pitcher it was that, they kind of looked injured and we faded them and it worked. I feel like this is the same kind of scenario. Jeffrey Springs, I'm really not trusting the way he's looking right now. And honestly, it may have been Tarek Skubal, and I think that's who it was Skubal, and he's on the injured list for who knows how long now. I can't trust Jeffrey Springs. So I'm going to lay the run line here with the Phillies. Phillies -1.5 runs at +120. We're going to fade my eyeballs, or we're going to trust my eyeballs and fade Jeffrey Springs. So I think there's something there. Let's see if the Phillies can keep things going offensively. Next game's the Minnesota Twins -129. Bailey Ober on the mound against the Washington Nationals +117. Miles Michaelis. I was wrong yesterday about taking the under. I should have just took Taj Bradley and the Twins. That was my bad. That's why I think I was kind of rushing yesterday because I had a late start, but no excuses. We've moved on. It's time to lock in, and I like the Twins here. Obviously, it's a probably good idea to fade Miles Michaelis. He has not been good for years now, and Bailey Ober is pitching pretty strong. And then this Twins offense may have found itself again after being ice cold for about a week and a half to 2 weeks. So go ahead and give me the Twins and Bailey Ober -129. Next game's the Texas Rangers +172. Nathan Eovaldi on the mound against the New York Yankees -199. Will Warren. Another insane, huge price here for the Yankees and Will Warren. Do I think the Rangers are going to win? I don't know. I don't think so. They're just kind of, I don't know. You never know what you're going to get from the Rangers, honestly. If their offense was hitting well last night, but Jacob DeGrom couldn't get any outs. So what if the Yankees end up with 9 runs last night, 7 runs? I think it's 7-4 final. Either the pitchers do well and then the bats can't hit, or the bats are scoring runs and there's no pitching support. So I think we do get a good pitchers duel here. I think we're due for one in this series. I'm going to go back to it. I like the way Eovaldi pitches against the Yankees. He's comfortable pitching in New York, and Will Warren has done well against the Rangers offense. Give me the first 5 under 4.5 -115, as well as the game under 8.5 at +100 even money. Next game's the Cincinnati Reds Heartbreakers +152 or 154. Brady Singer on the mound against the Chicago Cubs. Cubs are -170. Colin Ray on the mound What do we have to do? What do we have to do to get one of these Reds money lines over the total? I mean, there's just something going on with the Chicago Cubs team right now. In my opinion, I think they're peaking a little too early. If they were playing like this at the end of the season, I'd be all over the Chicago Cubs to win the World Series, because not only are they playing well, pitching well, but they've got a little voodoo magic that's on their side here. And it's been plain as day in the last 2 games. I mean, the Reds blow a save in the bottom of the 9th inning in game 1 after leading the entire game. And then in game 2, the Chicago Cubs, the closer, Pagan for the Reds, takes a line drive, gets injured, and then, the Cubs go on to walk it off once again. And then also in game 2, there's a pop fly. Pete Crow Armstrong hits I wouldn't say a pop fly, but he hit a fly ball all the way back to the ivy. It looked like it was catchable. A center fielder missed it. Triple, run scores, home run, game's over. There's just something going on with this Cubs team. But again, it's only May. And, typically I would say I think the Cubs are going to win the World Series. But I believe like the way they're kind of winning these games is a little, not fluky, but a little fortunate. They've been fortunate in some of these games, and I don't think that could last for 162 games. But that's just my micro picture of everything. But honestly, I do like the Reds here. I think they finally get it done, because this Reds offense does like to face Colin Ray, and they're great against left-handed pitching. I think they can dominate Colin Ray once again. So just in case, we'll go with the first 5 Reds money line plus 145, and then the Reds for the game plus 154. We just need Brady Singer not to get blown up in the first 5 innings. If Brady Singer can just stay solid and strong for 4 or 5 innings, I think we can get there, because I love the way the Reds offense plays against Chicago. They've even played well in this series. They just can't shut the door without any, bullpen closers. I'm trusting the Reds one more time. Cleveland Indians plus 119. The Guardians have Joey Cantillo on the mound against the Kansas City Royals. Royals are minus 134 with Cole Reagans on the mound. And the Royals, out of nowhere, out of the depths of the AL Central, the Royals all of a sudden are right behind the Guardians for first place. I believe it's a game or less than a game. They're out of first place right now. This Royals team all of a sudden has found an offense, and I wouldn't call them the no names, but they don't have a lot of star potential there. Bobby Witt Jr., Jack Caglione, Pasquatch is a cool nickname, but I wouldn't call him a star. But I think we're gonna have to pump the brakes there with the Royals a little bit. We're going back with our Indians team. Joey Cantillo, lefty. Again, Royals struggle against left-handed pitching, and what do? The Guardians destroy left-handed pitching. So I have to go with that, especially if we're getting plus money. Give me the Guardians plus 119. Next game, New York Mets minus 122. Freddie Peralta on the mound against the Colorado Rockies. Plus 146 with Michael Lorenzen on the mound. Again, this game was supposed to be played yesterday, postponed due to bad weather in Colorado. Obviously, Freddie Peralta is a good pitcher, but I think not only him, but this Mets team is a little inflated here. And the Rockies are very game, especially at home. Michael Lorenzen has actually pitched well against the Mets. At this price, go ahead and give me the Colorado Rockies plus 146. I think they can steal the upset here. Last game of the night, Pittsburgh Pirates minus 122. Paul Skeens on the mound against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks are plus 111 with Mike Soroka on the mound. The Diamondbacks had a great game yesterday. Again, Bubba Chandler, he might be a little bit overrated, which we've been saying that, but the price last night, kind of didn't dictate that. Eduardo Rodriguez has been pretty solid this season. Had a couple bad starts. He had a great start last night. What was that? 9-0 final shutout for Eduardo Rodriguez. You got to give some respect to the Diamondbacks offense as well as Rodriguez. Can they do that again with probably their second best pitcher right now, Mike Soroka? I think the Pirates bounce back, not just because Paul Skeens is on the mound, but after they got shut out, I think the Pirates can get a win here. Paul Skeens, actually, he does have a lot to do with it, but I think we get a pitcher's duel, which I'll be looking forward to, especially this being the last game of the night. Give me the Pirates minus 122. I'm trusting Paul Skeens here. And a price like that, I really can't pass that up. Also, the first 5 under 3.5 runs plus 100. It's always tricky doing, 3.5 runs. We really need a pitcher's duel. And I think we can get one. That actually might be 105. Gosh, my handwriting's terrible. Oh no, it's just 100. All right, my bad. Sidebar. All right, first 5 under 3.5 plus 100 even money. Also, game under 7.5 at minus 105. That's everything for today. I appreciate everyone that's been watching and following along. I appreciate it. TikTok, YouTube, all the details, transparencies in the YouTube details description. Appreciate y'all watching. Follow along for more. If you have a specific game you want player props on, let me know and I'll either post a short or post something to my story. So just let me know if there's a specific game for player props. Other than that, so 31's in the books. We need a bounce back after yesterday's disgraceful day, and I think we will get there. So green is good. Good luck to us, and we'll see y'all tomorrow. Let's get back on the winning track. We'll see y'all.